What up, guys? It's Undead Phantom here with episode 2 of my F1 2019 career mode here, as we are about to enter qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix to kick off 2019.
We're just about ready to kick off today's qualifying here in Melbourne. It's the Australian Grand Prix. So then, Ant, it's another Grand Prix weekend, another exciting qualifying session ahead of us. What are you going to be looking out for over the next few minutes?
The first question is going to be who can avoid making mistakes. There isn't much margin for error in qualifying, and you have to bear in mind that the track conditions may have changed since practice, particularly as we've had a few support races in the meantime. If the brake bias settings, for example, don't take this into account, it's extremely easy to lock up a front wheel and cause a flat spot. Just like that, your lap's ruined, and you've wasted a set of tyres to boot.
Okay, here in Q1, as I've put it on the medium tires just to set down a pace lap to get a little bit comfortable. Here, coming into turn 1, hit it and swung out really too wide for the corner. The sweep should have been, as we're just trying to get some feel on the track here really early in the session here. As we come around the last corner, we kind of caught up to, I think that's Ricardo up there, who's kind of putting some dirty air on us, and we're 4th out of 5th, and that wasn't obviously good enough. We were only ahead of Russell. We were actually behind Kubica, so I went to put on the softs, and right outside the pit lane, Verstappen came out at the absolute worst time, worst position you could ever have for him to be out. He literally parked on the apex, and during this we have 2 minutes left, so we can get in one more qualifying. So this lap's basically ruined, but Verstappen's comfortably in, and he is like, you act like this is the last lap of the race, and he's behind us, and he's just, dude, I'm down in 19th, and I need to get out of qualifying, and he's racing me like it's a race. Like, I think he's like in 5th position right now at this point, and he's just comfortably, like, he does not need to race us, and he is just all over me, and he's gonna end up costing us right here. I kind of squeezed him out a little bit, but he shouldn't be racing us, and we lost like 5-6 tenths in just that one corner as we come down here to the second to last corner here, and then into the last one. We are about a 1/10.5 up, but we were 5-6 tenths up before we made contact with him, and it's only net us P18, which definitely was not where I was expecting to be. As we roll through the lineup here of Q1 of who got out. Giovinazzi, our teammate Grosjean didn't get in, and then the Williams, which isn't very surprising that they didn't get in.
Tough luck there. It's not quite where we'd want to be on the grid, but chin up, it's not the end of the world.
New drivers, new cars, it's a new Formula One season. But it's the same Albert Park that we've come to know and love for more than 2 decades now that plays host to round 1 of a 21-race championship that takes us from here in Australia across the globe and the eventual season finale at the Yas Island circuit in Abu Dhabi. The Melbourne circuit is certainly one that needs to be taken seriously. Its combination of slippery surfaces and difficult corners make it a tricky track when it comes to overtakes. Drivers find it hard to pass and will need to take full advantage of those DRS zones if they want to have any hope of breaking through. We have plenty of changes to the sport this year, with tweaks to the regulations, a fresh-looking spread of tyre compounds, and of course some changes to the roster of car manufacturers. It's goodbye to Sauber and hello once again to the classic name of Alfa Romeo in Formula One. It's also goodbye to Force India. They've been rebranded as Racing Point. Joining me to take you through all the action of the 2019 Formula One season, is Anthony Davidson. And it's great to have you with us.
Thanks, Crofty. Always happy to be here, and I'm looking forward to getting underway. Last year was Mercedes' 5th Constructors' title in a row, although for the first half of the season it was absolutely neck and neck with the Ferraris. Hopefully this year we can see the chasing pack take that final step, as I'd love to see a championship contest all the way up to the final race in Abu Dhabi. Another story to keep an eye on is the performance of Red Bull, who have switched to the Honda power unit this year. What that will mean for both their performance and reliability remains to be seen.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Sebastian Vettel has a clear track ahead of him today. He starts in pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Butler, Leclerc, Valtteri Bottas, and Verstappen, Perez, Weber, Raikkonen, and Lance Stroll, Norris, Hülkenberg, Daniel Ricciardo, and Kvyat. Albon, Grosjean, Antonio Giovinazzi, and a Haas. Kubica and George Russell ends our grid lineup. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Keep your eyes open on the run to turn 1 and keep it clean. We want to come out in one piece. Good luck.
As we sit out here on the grid in P18, not where we want to be, and 5 lights, and it's out. As we get a pretty average start, nothing too fancy. As we dive down here with Giovinazzi, and we kind of bumped into Kvyat, and then we kind of got pushed a little bit out there. As Albon kind of went sideways through turn 1, as we're going to dive down the inside of him and try to take 13th from him, as we're able to sweep around the outside and do that.
Seem to have an issue.
As we move on to the end of lap 2, coming on to lap 3, Hülkenberg gets on the inside of Norris, and they're gonna kind of drag race down to turn 1, and it looks like he's able to pass him, but he checked up Norris, which allows us to get on the outside of him and try to outbrake him, and which we initially do, but he kind of went back, and then we kind of let off a little bit and was able to go around the outside of him for a nice move. As we come down here to the third sector of lap 4, on lap 4, as Raikkonen, Stroll, and Hülkenberg are holding each other up, which will allow us to hopefully get a run, as we're able to switch back on Hülkenberg and get the outside and hopefully pinch him a little bit down there, as we're in a drag race, and it looks like he's going to have the drive off. And that's one thing I will say with the Haas, it does not have very good drive off, as we're going to try to outbrake him, and we actually outbrake ourselves and end up on the grass there. As we come back to the beginning of lap 6 here, as we got a good run out of turn 1 and able to get alongside but not pass Hülkenberg. I didn't really want to outbrake myself and hit Stroll. As we come to the end of lap 6, they pretty much pulled away. Basically in 2/3 of a lap, my tires basically fell off, and with Ricciardo hounding us now, I decided it was probably a good time to come to the pits, and locked up the brakes mightily and lost a little bit of time there. Could have maybe gone in half a second longer, as hopefully the pit stop will be good. 2.8, it's alright, nothing special there. As we're going to rejoin in 20th behind the Williams of Russell. As we come on to the end of lap 7, come on to lap 8, we're going to pass Kvyat, who made his pit stop, onto both mediums. We're now on both medium tires there. As we cut to the action for P3, and Bottas is going to retire from the race with a mechanical issue.
Okay, some information on Bottas. They're retiring from the race.
As we're coming through the third sector on lap 8, Roman is in the pits, and most cars that we were fighting before the pit stop should come out with him. As you can see, they're all in the pit lane there at the bottom of the map, as we're going to come around the last corner here and see how many cars we pass. And then George Russell is out of the race, and if you look up ahead, he's kind of across the track there, and then we're had to give back positions to Raikkonen for illegally passing him under yellow, and then we're under attack from Ricciardo because we had to slow down, but we kind of forced him out there and locked up, so that kind of hurt and helped us at the same time. As we look on the replay here, as it looks like Russell's trying to attack one of the McLarens and kind of just runs into, I think that's Stroll there, he runs into. As we come down on lap 9, and Kvyat's got a good run down the backstretch and kind of squeezed him, and he kind of hit our right front there. But we were able to keep P13 there. Got Raikkonen ahead of us, and we went really deep into the second last corner, which is going to make us really vulnerable since he's right on us, and we're going to pull down, try to get some of that slipstream, deny him of that, but he was able to there. And we kind of charged up his inside slash. He kind of locked up on, it looked like the right front there, and we were able to get the position back for 11th. Was able to keep it into turn 2 here. So come around for the third sector again. And I don't know about this year, but this corner has been giving me fits on this game, and he was able to get ahead of us as we kind of had to scramble, and we're going to be kind of exposed to Ricciardo now, who's going to go around the outside, and our teammate is going to charge up our inside, and we're going to be caught in a sandwich. As Grosjean's right behind us, and he's going to be looking to try to pass us. We're going to make him go to the outside. We're going to go defensive and side by side still, and we kind of make him force out of that move. So we keep the position. If you look at the replay here, Ricciardo gets a run to our outside, and I'm only thinking about him, and Grosjean kind of, I don't know, what was he thinking, trying to charge down the inside. There, as we see it from his view, so he slightly lifts. You can hear him slightly lift, and then that was never going to work out there. As we're on the end of that lap, as he's still right behind us here, as we force him again to go to the outside, and this time it's going to be a little bit cleaner, and we kind of force him out than what happened a few laps earlier with Ricciardo with Kvyat. So we kind of made it look a little cleaner here. As since that move with Grosjean, we've been in Rich, and we are like 0.4 down. As you saw there was also yellow flags because of this, which Grosjean, being Grosjean and doing Grosjean things, basically charged up the inside. He was far enough along, but then he locked up and kind of took out Ricciardo. Yeah, it just kind of went straight on, and Kvyat had to slam on the brakes there. As Sebastian Vettel will win the first race of the 2019 F1 season, as we're going to come around and score no points, unfortunately, even though we started 18th, which wasn't a bad result if you consider that.
Take care of the car on the way in.
Ferrari have really pulled it out of the bag today. It's a great win. Talk to me, Ants. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
I really feel the track layout combined with the track temperatures we saw today suited their car. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. They just look so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it all just clicks.
Here come our winners now. A thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. With that brilliant result, Sebastian Vettel secures top spot in the Drivers' Championship. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
Today, I think I'll give it to the Haas driver. That was a commanding performance today. Very impressive indeed.
It's time to check out the Constructors' standings. Ferrari take the lead at the top of the table. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time? Be sure to join us again as we continue to bring you the latest excitement in Formula One.